They say success doesn't come overnight, and they're right. It comes quietly, in the small moments when no one is watching. When you choose to wake up early, to read one more page, to run that extra mile, to say no to distractions, it comes from the power of daily discipline. But most people never realize this until life teaches them the hard way. This is the story of a boy named Ethan and how one small habit changed his entire life. In a quiet town surrounded by green hills lived a boy named Ethan. Ethan was known as the talented one. Whether it was drawing, sports, or academics, he was good at everything. Teachers admired his natural intelligence, and his friends often said, "Ethan doesn't even need to try, he's just gifted." And for a long time, Ethan believed that too. He wanted to become a software engineer, to build apps that could change people's lives. His dream was clear, his potential undeniable, but his habits. Completely out of control, Ethan was addicted to comfort. He would stay up late watching videos, sleep in till noon, and keep saying, "I'll start tomorrow." But tomorrow never came. One day, his school announced a national coding championship, a chance for students to win scholarships to top universities. Ethan got excited. "This is my chance," he thought. "I'll start preparing soon." But instead of preparing, he spent his days scrolling through social media, watching motivational videos, and convincing himself that watching motivation was the same as being motivated. Meanwhile, his classmate Arav, who wasn't as talented, practiced every single day. Ethan often saw him in the library, sitting quietly, typing away on his laptop. "Why are you studying so hard?" Ethan would tease. "It's just a competition." Arav would smile and say softly, "Because small efforts every day make big things happen." Ethan laughed it off. But deep down, he knew there was truth in those words. When the day of the championship arrived, Ethan went in confident. He hadn't practiced much, but he told himself his intelligence would carry him through. When the results came out, Ethan's name was nowhere near the top. Arav, on the other hand, stood on the stage holding the first place trophy. The applause in the hall felt like thunder, but to Ethan, it was silence. He couldn't even look at the crowd. His heart sank. He realized that his potential had betrayed him, or rather, he had betrayed his potential. That evening, Ethan sat alone on the rooftop, looking at the stars. His phone buzzed with notifications, but for the first time, he ignored them. He whispered to himself, "I'm not failing because I'm not smart. I'm failing because I'm not consistent." The next morning, he went to meet the person who had trained Arav, a retired software engineer named Mr. Adrian Wells, known in the town as the mentor of discipline. Mr. Wells was a calm man in his 60s with a gentle smile and sharp eyes. Ethan approached him and said, "Sir, I want to succeed, but I can't stay consistent. I always lose focus. How can I fix it?" Mr. Wells looked at him quietly and asked, "Tell me, Ethan, what's the most powerful force in the world?" Ethan thought for a moment and said, "Maybe intelligence?" Mr. Wells shook his head. "No. The most powerful force is daily discipline. It beats intelligence, it beats luck, and it beats talent. Every single time." Ethan frowned. "But how? I've tried being disciplined, but it never lasts." Mr. Wells smiled and said, "That's because you're trying to change your life overnight. Don't focus on big changes. Focus on small habits. Small, consistent actions build unshakable discipline." Mr. Wells took him to his garden and pointed at a small tree. "When I planted this tree," he said, "it was just a fragile stick. Every day I watered it a little. I gave it sunlight. I removed weeds. Did it grow in one day? No. But because I was consistent, it became strong." He looked at Ethan and said, "Your mind works the same way. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your habits." Then he gave Ethan a simple plan, the 1% rule. He said, "Every day, improve yourself by just 1%. Study 10 minutes more. Wake up 5 minutes earlier. Read one page. Practice one small thing. Over time, small habits create massive success." Ethan nodded slowly. It made sense. He decided to try it. The next morning, he woke up early, just 15 minutes earlier than usual. He wrote in his notebook, "Day 1, start small." He studied for an hour without checking his phone. It was difficult. His mind screamed for distractions, but he pushed through. Every day, he added one small habit: reading 5 pages, practicing 30 minutes of coding, running for 10 minutes, reflecting before bed. It wasn't easy. Some days he failed, some days he overslept, but he didn't quit. He remembered Mr. Wells's words: discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. Months passed. Ethan's small habits started building momentum. He no longer needed motivation. His routine itself became his strength. When his friends called him to hang out late at night, he'd smile and say, "Not tonight, I've got work to do." He stopped comparing himself to others. Instead, he compared himself to who he was yesterday. Each day, he was becoming just a little better, and those small improvements started adding up. A year later, the National Coding Championship was announced again. Ethan entered. This time, not as the talented boy, but as the disciplined one. When the contest began, he didn't feel nervous. He had spent every day preparing, even when no one was watching. His fingers moved confidently on the keyboard, his logic sharp, his focus unbreakable. Weeks later, when the results were announced, the audience erupted in applause. Ethan's name was called winner of the National Coding Championship. As he walked to the stage holding his trophy, he saw Mr. Wells smiling in the crowd. Ethan's eyes filled with tears. He realized it wasn't luck or talent or even intelligence. It was the quiet power of daily discipline. After the ceremony, he went up to Mr. Wells and said, "Sir, I finally understand. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality." Mr. Wells smiled and said, "And now you must teach others what you've learned, because the world doesn't need more talented people, Ethan. It needs more disciplined ones." Ethan never forgot those words. He started helping younger students, teaching them how to build small habits that last. He often told them, "Don't chase motivation. Build routines. Motivation fades, but discipline stays." Years later, Ethan became a successful software engineer and a motivational speaker. He would often tell his story to young dreamers who felt stuck, saying, "You don't have to do everything today, just do something small every day. Because one day, you'll look back and realize those small steps built the staircase to your biggest success." Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Small habits, done daily, create unstoppable momentum. Because success isn't a one-time event, it's the result of thousands of quiet choices made consistently. If Ethan's story inspired you, remember this: you don't need to make big leaps to change your life. Just take small, consistent steps every day. Start with one habit. Stick to it, and watch how your life transforms. If you believe this story can inspire others, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'll be back soon with another powerful story that will remind you, success doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency. Until then, stay disciplined, stay grateful, and keep moving forward.